Elon Musk was untouchable. Tesla wasn't just leading, it was redefining the rules. But while Musk was chasing Mars, two earthbound forces were rewriting the future. One was a methodical Japanese giant, with decades of quiet dominance. The other, a rebellious Swedish engineer handcrafting speed in an abandoned airfield. Toyota and Koenigsegg didn't shout, they didn't overpromise, they just built. And in doing so, they exposed something no one wanted to admit. Tesla may have moved first, but it didn't move best. So what happens when precision meets passion, and both come gunning for the king? Because this isn't just a rivalry, it's the beginning of a new chapter in automotive history. And if you blink, you'll miss it. A moment of glory. Christian von Koenigsegg didn't just build another fast car, he bent the laws of physics. While most car companies leaned on tradition and deep-pocketed marketing, Koenigsegg leaned into madness, chasing records, breaking rules, and inventing technologies no one dared to try. This wasn't your typical supercar story. Christian started his company with nothing but a dream and a workshop in an abandoned airfield in Ängelholm, Sweden. No family fortune, no Silicon Valley funding, just grit, vision, and a relentless belief in what a car could be. And over 2 decades, he delivered. The JRA RS didn't just compete with Ferrari and Bugatti, it beat them, becoming the fastest production car in the world at 277.9 miles per hour. The Regera defied mechanical convention by eliminating the transmission altogether. Then came free-valve, camless engines that gave drivers unprecedented control over combustion. But this wasn't just about speed. Koenigsegg's brilliance was in the balance, merging electric motors with lightweight combustion in a way that preserved the tactile thrill of driving. As the industry raced towards silent, soulless automation, Koenigsegg was crafting machines with personality. And now, after perfecting hybrid systems that didn't rely on massive battery packs, Christian had another card to play, a fully electric hypercar that didn't compromise the driving experience. We dug deep into Toyota's hidden strategy and decoded how they outplayed Tesla behind the scenes. Now you've got the full picture. No hype, just facts. If that saved you time, do one thing. Hit subscribe. It was Koenigsegg's moment, not because he shouted the loudest, but because he engineered the impossible. And that put Elon Musk directly in his crosshairs. But they are not the only ones to do that. Toyota's stealth strategy, patience versus speed. What if the tortoise really did win the race? Could slow and steady truly outlast Tesla's speed? Toyota believed it could, and the evidence was starting to pile up. While Tesla sprinted into the spotlight with flashy unveilings and ambitious promises, Toyota moved with discipline. For decades, it focused on hybrid technology, improving fuel efficiency, and building rock-solid trust with consumers. The Prius wasn't just a car, it was a cultural shift, and by the mid-2010s, Toyota had sold over 10 million hybrids worldwide. Critics mocked the company for not going all in on full electrification. But Toyota saw something others didn't. A market not yet ready. Charging networks were patchy. Lithium supply chains were volatile. Battery recycling was still a nightmare. Instead of jumping headfirst into those problems, Toyota kept refining, kept testing, and kept planning. Behind closed doors, they were developing solid-state batteries, investing in hydrogen fuel cell technology, and designing vehicles that didn't just meet regulations, but exceeded expectations. And now, as Tesla struggled with production delays and recalls, Toyota was ready. Its electric strategy wasn't a response, it was a masterstroke. Tesla had the headlines, Toyota had the infrastructure, and with years of consumer trust behind it, the Japanese automaker was finally stepping into the EV arena. Not to follow, but to lead. Because while others raced toward the future, Toyota was quietly building it. Musk versus Koenigsegg and Toyota. In a single moment, the game changed. And Elon Musk didn't just lose, the world watched him implode. It was supposed to be a standard industry event, a few product demos, some carefully choreographed speeches. Nothing unusual. But then, the unexpected happened. Christian von Koenigsegg and Toyota's top brass took the stage. Together, Koenigsegg revealed their fully electric hypercar, lightweight, incredibly fast, but more importantly, mechanically thrilling. It didn't feel like an appliance, it felt like a machine. Then came Toyota. Their new solid-state battery platform was real, not vaporware, not a promise for the future. A production-ready breakthrough that charged in 10 minutes and lasted hundreds of thousands of miles. The room shifted. The applause didn't just grow louder, it grew sharper. Musk, watching from the sidelines, looked rattled. These weren't startups scrambling for attention. These were titans of reliability and innovation, finally turning their attention toward his throne. And then came the jab that set the internet on fire. Koenigsegg, in a private Q&A later that evening, when asked about Tesla's dominance, smirked and said, "Tell Elon I said, forget it. We build real cars, not appliances." The quote made its way online within hours. Musk's response? A tirade of tweets, deleted within minutes, but not before screenshots went viral. It wasn't just a bad day for Tesla. It was a signal. The era of unchecked dominance was over, and now the battle for the soul of the automotive world had truly begun. Because while Musk built a movement, Toyota and Koenigsegg just built better machines, and the world was starting to notice. Musk's image cracks. Elon Musk built his empire on disruption, but after Toyota and Koenigsegg's masterstroke, that empire began to falter. For years, Musk positioned himself as a fearless visionary, launching rockets, reshaping transport, and electrifying the future. But now, the image was cracking. After a quiet but devastating blow on the world stage, Musk wasn't just rattled, he was exposed. Perception fuels the auto industry, and Musk had dominated it. He didn't just sell cars, he sold a belief that Tesla was unstoppable, that electrification was destiny, and that Toyota's caution was outdated. But when Toyota unveiled breakthrough solid-state batteries, and Koenigsegg challenged Tesla's obsession with speed over driving feel, it wasn't just a technical rebuttal, it was personal. Investors took notice. Tesla's stock became volatile. Its once untouchable valuation slipped. Analysts began to ask aloud, had Tesla peaked? Meanwhile, Musk's public image frayed. Defensive tweets, erratic interviews, and sudden outbursts painted a CEO under siege. Then came the backlash from buyers. Loyal Tesla fans began voicing frustrations. Quality issues in the Model S, delays with the Cybertruck, software bugs, and disappointing range. The sleek, futuristic promise started to feel unfinished, even sloppy. And it was happening just as Toyota and Koenigsegg were proving that careful engineering could outperform chaos. But what hurt Musk the most wasn't the numbers or the noise. It was losing control of the story. For the first time in years, the future was moving forward, and it no longer had his name on it. Industry response. Competition rises. Tesla was no longer the only game in town, and every other automaker started playing for keeps for a decade. Legacy brands watched from the sidelines as Musk captivated markets with over-the-air updates, autopilot, and that trademark Silicon Valley swagger. But when the cracks began to show, rivals didn't hesitate. They rushed in like wolves smelling blood. Ford doubled down on electric innovation, not just with vehicles like the Mustang Mach-E and the F-150 Lightning, but with a new manufacturing strategy that mirrored Toyota's balance between performance and reliability. Hyundai and Kia, once dismissed as economy brands, stunned the industry with the Ioniq 5 and the EV6, cars that delivered sleek design, cutting-edge technology, and practicality in ways that Tesla struggled to match. And then there were the Europeans. Mercedes-Benz and BMW didn't just enter the electric space. They brought luxury with them. Their electric sedans began offering the refinement and craftsmanship that Tesla's minimalism never quite achieved. The result? Tesla's once loyal upper-tier customers started looking elsewhere. They weren't just buying electric, they were buying quiet interiors, physical buttons, and driving experiences rooted in tradition. Tesla's loss of dominance resembled the fall of a once dominant streaming service, one that pioneered the industry, but got complacent. At first, it had the market to itself, but over time, rivals learned. They studied its strengths, they exploited its weaknesses, and now they weren't just imitating, they were surpassing. It was no longer about being first, it was about being best. And Tesla, for the first time in its history, wasn't leading the race. It was chasing it. Musk's leadership crisis. Musk's vision was once the future, but now that same vision was becoming his greatest liability. His relentless push to electrify, automate, and dominate had brought Tesla to global relevance. But it also brought blind spots, and now those blind spots were threatening to consume everything he built. His obsession with side projects, whether it was social media acquisitions, cryptocurrency promotion, or space tourism, drew attention away from Tesla's core mission. Shareholders started asking hard questions. Why was the Cybertruck still delayed? Why were Model S buyers reporting growing quality issues? And why did Musk seem more interested in memes than manufacturing? His personal brand, once Tesla's most powerful asset, became a liability. Every tweet carried risk. Every outburst became a headline. The charismatic innovator started looking like an unpredictable liability. Internally, employees reported frustration. Morale dipped. The company that once prided itself on changing the world now felt directionless. Musk's greatest strength had always been his ability to inspire, but that inspiration now rang hollow. His announcements were no longer met with breathless anticipation, but skeptical side eyes, because promises made in 2016 had yet to materialize in 2024, and the world was growing tired of waiting. Could Musk reinvent himself? Could he regain control? Or had he finally overreached, believing in his own myth more than the mission? Labor strikes and worker discontent. Behind Tesla's glitzy facade, a simmering discontent among workers could endanger its future. As production goals grew more ambitious and public scrutiny intensified, cracks began forming beneath the surface, on the factory floors, in the assembly lines, and in the minds of exhausted employees. Reports of unsafe working conditions, mandatory overtime, and sudden layoffs began surfacing. Workers at gigafactories in Nevada, Shanghai, and Texas described a grueling pace, one that pushed the limits of endurance in service of Musk's lofty projections. Burnout became the norm. Internal forums lit up with anonymous complaints. And in some states, whispers of unionization grew louder. Tesla had long resisted organized labor, but that resistance now seemed like a mistake. In 2024, a coalition of workers filed a petition for union recognition at the Fremont factory, the same site Musk had once toured proudly as the future of American manufacturing. Their demands were simple: stability, transparency, and a voice. But in classic Musk fashion, the response was confrontational. Leaked memos revealed top-down attempts to squash the movement, including surveillance efforts and mandatory anti-union meetings. The result? Outrage. Not just from workers, but from the public. Headlines began to shift. The company once hailed for sustainability was now accused of silencing its own workforce. And while Tesla scrambled to control the narrative, production delays mounted. Supply chains faltered, vehicles missed delivery windows. And all the while, Toyota and Koenigsegg, companies known for consistency and culture, watched from the sidelines, quietly scaling up. Because it wasn't just about the technology anymore, it was about trust, and Tesla was running out of it. Just when it seemed like Musk's empire couldn't lose any more ground, another wave of rebellion was about to begin. Economic shifts, the EV transition, the rise of Toyota and Koenigsegg signals more than just a shakeup in the car industry. It's an economic earthquake. This shift isn't about who makes the fastest car or the flashiest announcement. It's about who owns the future of global mobility, infrastructure, and energy. For years, Tesla was positioned as the center of this revolution. Now, with Toyota's methodical rise and Koenigsegg's precision disruption, the power structure is beginning to collapse, and the aftershocks are already spreading far beyond the assembly line. At the heart of the shift lies a simple fact: Toyota's hybrid-first, battery-conscious approach is altering global demand for rare earth minerals. With fewer, smaller battery packs per vehicle, Toyota is creating a ripple effect in mining, refining, and logistics industries. Countries that were banking on massive lithium exports, like Argentina, Bolivia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, are suddenly facing revised forecasts. Their economies, once pegged to Tesla-style growth, are being forced to adapt to a slower, smarter evolution. Koenigsegg's innovations are causing ripple effects at the top end of the market. Luxury brands are now scrambling to adopt lightweight hybrid technologies that don't rely on massive battery systems. Instead of following Tesla's brute force electrification model, carmakers are taking cues from Koenigsegg's refined philosophy: high performance, minimal compromise, and complete engineering control. Meanwhile, the political world is starting to catch up. Tariff plans are being restructured in the European Union to prioritize resource efficiency. The United States is rethinking clean energy subsidies, especially those benefiting companies with overseas supply chains. Japan is pushing for a battery alliance to counterbalance Chinese dominance. Governments are beginning to reward companies that adapt to the new rules of sustainability, not just those who shout the loudest. The economic map is being redrawn, and Tesla's once dominant footprint is fading fast. The consumer revolution, changing preferences. As consumers demanded more, Tesla's promises of futuristic cars started to sound less appealing. Once a badge of tech-savvy cool, the Tesla logo has become a symbol of frustration for many drivers who waited years for features that never worked, repairs that took months, and resale values that plummeted overnight. Consumers are no longer buying the dream, they're asking questions. And increasingly, they're choosing something else. Toyota saw the storm coming, while other automakers raced toward aggressive electrification. Toyota invested in balance. Their hybrids didn't make headlines, but they worked. They were efficient, affordable, easy to maintain, and most importantly, trustworthy. That trust is now paying dividends. Families are ditching the wait lists and battery anxiety for a reliable Toyota that just gets the job done. Koenigsegg, while living in a different price bracket, is seeing the same shift. Their customers don't want automated pods. They want to feel something when they drive. And in today's digital world, that's rare. That hunger for tactile experience, for analog thrills in a tech-saturated landscape, is beginning to influence consumer values even outside the supercar segment. Buyers are now gravitating toward companies that understand real-world needs, longer battery life, reliable charging, and vehicles that won't collapse in value after one software update. The shine of full autonomy is fading. The excitement over acceleration numbers is being replaced by questions about repair costs and warranty coverage. It's not just about what a car can do anymore, it's about what it doesn't make you worry about. And for Tesla, that is a serious problem. The Tesla rebound. Musk's plan to regain control. Elon Musk wasn't ready to give up. He had a plan, but it might already be too late. With headlines praising Toyota's strategy and Koenigsegg's defiance, Musk launched a rapid-fire counterattack. He promised new cars, teased next-gen batteries, and unveiled concepts that looked like something out of science fiction. But this time, something was different. The world didn't blink. Investors, once mesmerized by Elon's showmanship, are now waiting for results. The Roadster still isn't here, the Cybertruck remains delayed, and the so-called full self-driving update still can't pass regulatory scrutiny. Even Tesla's most loyal fans are growing tired of the promises, while newer consumers simply want something that works now. In response, Tesla slashed prices, restructured supply lines, and pushed for rapid updates. But every quick fix felt like a retreat, not a recovery. Competitors sensed weakness. Hyundai launched faster, cheaper electric models. Ford and GM scaled their EV operations and hit their targets. Meanwhile, Musk's announcements were being overshadowed by missed deadlines and public meltdowns. And as Koenigsegg introduced their own fully electric hypercar, without fanfare, without broken promises, the contrast became painfully clear. Tesla was spinning its wheels. The market had moved on. And Elon, he was chasing shadows. The political dimension. Musk's global struggles. Tesla's downfall runs deeper than cars. It's a global power shift. Musk now faces political backlash in China, regulatory pushback in Europe, and crumbling support in his own backyard. It wasn't always this way. For years, governments bent over backward to accommodate Musk's vision. He was the poster child of green capitalism. Now he's a lightning rod. China's government is quietly backing companies like BYD and NIO, pushing Tesla to the sidelines. The European Union is investing in battery recycling and local EV production, with Tesla conspicuously absent from the list of beneficiaries. And in Washington, the tone has shifted. What once earned applause now draws scrutiny. Congressional hearings have been floated. Labor unions are pushing for protections against automation and layoffs. Even climate policy experts are beginning to question whether Tesla's environmental impact was ever as clean as Musk claimed. Meanwhile, Toyota is winning diplomatic favor. Tesla is no longer the inevitable future. It's now a political liability. And as power shifts east and strategy shifts local, the global stage Musk once dominated is starting to move on. Without him, a new era, Toyota's global domination. Toyota did not just catch up, they redefined the future of the automotive industry. While Elon Musk sprinted into the spotlight with bold promises and speed-first electric vehicles, Toyota stayed behind the scenes, building something far more dangerous: a practical, scalable, and globally reliable electric vehicle empire. Now that empire is here. After decades of hybrid dominance with the Prius and Camry hybrid, Toyota has cracked the code for the next generation of electric vehicles. Instead of relying on lithium-ion batteries alone, Toyota has accelerated its solid-state battery development, an innovation that charges in minutes, lasts for hundreds of thousands of miles, and avoids the weight and degradation issues plaguing the rest of the industry. Their hybrid and electric vehicle strategy is simple but devastatingly effective. Instead of forcing the market to adapt to an infrastructure it does not have, Toyota is building cars for the infrastructure that already exists, with hybrid electric vehicles selling in the tens of millions globally, and new solid-state electric models about to launch in mass production. Toyota has done what Tesla could not: scale innovation without compromising reliability. More importantly, they are producing these vehicles everywhere. Now their hybrid and electric sales have overtaken nearly every competitor on Earth. They have built a future not just for eco-conscious early adopters, but for the everyday driver. And while that battle seems won, the war for high-performance supremacy was just heating up. Mastering performance. Koenigsegg does not just make fast cars, they reinvent the physics of speed. While the world debates range anxiety and over-the-air updates, Christian von Koenigsegg has been quietly redefining what performance actually means in the 21st century. And his company is no longer a sideshow. It is a force. From the Agera RS to the Jesko, and now the all-electric version of the Gemera, Koenigsegg has built an empire on engineering extremes. Their innovations are not software patches or autonomous driving experiments. They are hardware revolutions. Gearbox-free drivetrains, free-valve engine technology, and electric power systems that push the limit without ever sacrificing the joy of driving. They have entered the electric hypercar race on their terms. The fully electric Gemera is not a response to Tesla. It is a rebuke. No excessive weight, no detached autonomy. Just power, control, and innovation that respects the thrill of driving. This philosophy is beginning to shape the entire high-performance industry. Legacy brands are taking notes, journalists are drawing comparisons, and enthusiasts, they are beginning to realize that Tesla's Roadster delays and overhyped numbers cannot compete with something this refined. As Koenigsegg rises and Toyota dominates, the entire map of the electric vehicle world is being redrawn. The EV landscape redefined. The future of cars will not be about who makes the fastest 0 to 60 run. It will be about who delivers a driving experience that is sustainable, thrilling, and reliable. And right now, only two companies are leading that evolution: Toyota and Koenigsegg. Together, they represent two ends of a spectrum: Toyota for the masses, Koenigsegg for the elite. But they share a philosophy that Tesla abandoned: innovation without shortcuts. Toyota focuses on battery longevity, hybrid practicality, and regional manufacturing. Koenigsegg focuses on weight reduction, driver involvement, and mechanical soul. Governments are following. Industry regulations are shifting to emphasize battery sourcing ethics, grid impact, and recyclability. Automakers are being held accountable for overpromising self-driving timelines and under-delivering on build quality. The electric vehicle race is no longer about who starts the fastest. It is about who finishes with trust. This evolution sets the stage for the final reckoning of Elon Musk's empire. Musk's reckoning. A new vision or the end? Tesla's rise was nothing short of revolutionary. But its fall? It was slow, painful, and self-inflicted. Elon Musk built a global brand on disruption. But disruption has an expiration date, and now that date has passed. Tesla's quality issues, production delays, broken full self-driving promises, and increasingly erratic leadership have finally caught up. Investors are jittery, consumers are skeptical, and regulators are circling. Can Musk recover? Maybe, but he would have to trade bravado for focus, speed for stability, and tweets for innovation. And that might be a transformation even he is not ready for. Because the world no longer needs a car company built on chaos. It needs a new standard. And as it stands, Toyota and Koenigsegg are setting it. But what do you think? Let's know in the comments down below. Thanks.